Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. I'm going to do a breakdown on the monthly prize walls, as long as we're doing it, I'll do it on the limited time prize wall as well. This is the stuff that's in the half off prize wall that's not in the main one. If you don't know how to access the half off, you got to buy the pro starter pack. It's $100. So $100 pack gets you these. If you're going to do it, day one is the day to do it because you get so much more stuff. After that, the value goes way down. I did mention it in the yesterday's news, but I'll mention it again. I think the value has kind of went down on this starter pack or this half off wall every month since it's came, right? Like, and this month is worse than last month in my opinion. You get 100 Austin, 100 Haku, 300 Cody. His shards have been everywhere, and 300 Nikki for the options, right? So I just think the half off value this month is the lowest they've had it, to be honest. Other than, you get half off of everything in the normal wall as well. So obviously, like, all of these would be half off and that kind of stuff. Like, all the resources are half off. So you can get more resources and stuff. So that value is still there. But they took away, seemingly to me anyway, a lot of the big ticket items. So I'm not a super fan of this month's half off, to be honest. There've been a lot better ones. So just kind of want to cover the half off to start. And then we'll go. These are the limited time, right? Like, if your faction does really well in the kickoff tour, once you get to the bonus milestones, right? These are just like all buckles and solo points, right? But once your faction, if they're a faction that gets into the bonus milestones, you start getting a lot of these, right? So you need a faction that gets into these bonus milestones if you're going to get much of the limited time prize wall without spending. And then the bigger stuff, you need your faction to get in there and you need to spend. Just if you're wondering, right? So, like, there's like a $200 deal in the portal, I think, that comes with 4,500 medallions of this, right? That's so the I think the does the $100 starter pack come with some too? I guess I could look at that for you guys. I think I just went right by it. It does not. This $100 starter does not. But you do get a lot in her contest, right? So that's one of the main ways people are getting it. The two main ways, right? If you look in the this one that ends in 55 minutes, that's where they get a lot of them, right? There's, if you max it, which also requires some pulls and stuff, you level her up, you're getting a bunch of prize wall currency as well. So that's how people do it. If you were ever curious. Um, so there's that. Anyway, long story short, you can easily get to this kind of range if your faction gets the bonus milestones, right? This very hard if your faction doesn't, right? Like, you're gonna have to spend a lot. But this is relatively doable if your faction maxes all of this stuff, right? The Gunther shards, I mean, like, man, this is so 300 shards for. I don't know why they've decided to undervalue his shards. He's very strong if you have a yeet drip, and a lot of people do now. So, like, yeah. So the limited time wall, that's really what jumps out the most, is the cost of the Gunther shards being dirt cheap. Starcrossed has some value, especially if you want to go Vicaire with the blue set. I rather like that set. It's good on some other people too, like Turtle Ray. Becky has a build with the Star Crossed, right? It's a solid plate. So I really like that price point. I don't like any of these price points, to be honest. Will of Cargill, I will backtrack off a little bit if you're going to go all in on Gunther. The reworked Gunther, it's a very good plate for him, but there's other stuff you can do too. But yeah, it's a very good plate on him. The Starcross is much better though, and it's harder to get than the Will of Jade. So there's that. As far as the shards, right? Howdy's a game changer. So if you could get there, fine, but they're really expensive. The OTC shards are very expensive, and it probably doesn't recruit him. And so are the Ray Phoenix ones. I mean, 300 is a good chunk, but they're all very expensive, right? Um, Trainer wise, though, Howdy's the best, and then Ray Phoenix. These two are fighters, not trainers that you care about. As far as the moments go, this is not a bad price for this one. The rest are all super expensive, right? Really. This one is horrible price. It's a great moment, don't get me wrong. It's just been out for a long time and a horrible price. So, um, yeah, I'm not really big on those. I think and the rainbow flurries, right? Like that's if you got there, it'd be kind of a no-brainer to take one because it works on so many people. 500% gem damage when you make snowfalls. So, but what really jumps up on me out at me best value is the Gunther. Really like the Starcross value, and then if you get there, the Rainbow Flurries value. Other than that, you're doing stuff for your roster. This is probably the best value of the moments, but only if you're using the people on it, mainly like Tech Live. The JD Dom's awesome too, so there's that, right? So yeah, that's kind of my take on the limited prize wall. As far as this month, the premium prize wall, Goldberg is very good, but he's been available. Mherex is fairly available these days. He, his trainer is actually quite bad. There's really no scenario where you're ever really going to use his trainer. Just FYI, it used to be amazing, but there's so many multiply trainers, and it's never been buffed. It's currently garbage. That's not to say they won't raise it up someday. If you have all the moments, um, he can actually hit, right? Okay. But he's still not a trickster I personally love, but he can hit, right? DDP, I've had a few people asking about DDP, like in videos and stuff. So if you need a Hall of Fame striker and you like power gem builds, DDP can hit pretty okay. I don't love his gameplay with the power gems, but especially if you have the Hall of Fame moment in his gears, the power gems are really, really nasty on him. Quite nasty. So I get it if you want to go that route if you don't have a good Hall of Fame striker. Otherwise, like, so like on my free to play account, like I'm on, I don't have a 6-star gold on my account. So for boss battle alone, anything is good, right? So for me to pass up a gold when I have none, I can't do it unless it's like a brawn breaker or somebody that's gonna like change my life, in here. So I do think that's worth considering. The blue transfusion, not worth the 4, right? Blue leeches you could use on Tiffy time if you run triple blue, and it's okay. It's not going to add a ton of damage though. 200% without any kind of buff gems is simply not much, right? It sounds like a lot, but it's not. So yeah, I mean, this is it for me, but I can see how people would consider DDP as well. So there's that. Um, yeah, and the normal prize wall, again, this is much worse this month. There was 500 of McCool shards last month, which I thought was amazing. Um, Bundy's bad. Bam Bam isn't super relevant. I mean, he's fine and required all the time, but he's not like the best striker. You can do stuff with him, and you can hit hard with him, but he's not the best striker. Solo's still pretty rare. If you got an OG drip plate, there's people that still love to use them in feud. I not a big fan though. You'd need the moment OG drip plate, that kind of stuff. McDonough is awesome with the Eat drip, which a ton of people have, but he hasn't been super hard to recruit if you've been playing a while. However, that being said, my free to play will be all over these because he doesn't have McDonough. Um, and then MOD Taker, as you get all of the stuff, is still completely relevant. Hits super hard. Moments, he's got a bunch of them, right? He's got plates that can work for him, but it is something you're gonna want. He switches over to gem damage once he gets all of his stuff, and he can hit very, very, very hard in feud with the right stuff. So again, I think it's way weaker this month. It's a pretty bad wall. It's mostly econ, other than that stuff. Although I end up on the free to play not being able to get the econ. I'll have to buy at least 1 or 2 combo packs of Elva shards, maybe more, because I want her shards. That's probably the biggest thing. Is I probably will forego all of these besides the JD, and I'll get the JD, and then I'll probably buy the Elba tokens each week because they come with 1,000 Elba shards for defensive acrobats, which I need for my Cena, right? So this is going to be a no econ month for me off of here, which is normal for the free to play. And I think a lot now, even though the conversion rate isn't great, and it's not, because Elba's a B tier, it is still defensive acrobat shards, and if you're somebody that's got a defensive acrobat, which you likely are, that you want to work up, i.e. Jacob, Tiffany, Cena, right? There's no shortage of awesome ones. You want those shards, and I'm no different. So yeah, that's kind of it. Other than that, I do try and buy the props, but it gets expensive. It's 1,000 tokens, so I do try to buy the props, and if you need them, sometimes you have to buy the health packs, but it's horrible value if you do. It just is what it is. Sometimes you have no choice, right? So a couple other things of note. If you're short buckles, you can get this pack, but boy, do they gouge you. And when I say they gouge you, I mean they gouge you. It's so expensive for these, so I avoid this pack like the plague. Even on Mherex, I just deal without it. I don't max the feud perks if I can't. I'm not buying this for this price. I hate the price of this. Like, despise it. It is horrible. Champion Combo Pack 1 is brutal. This is nice. You get a few heads, not a significant amount though, to be honest. It's more about the TP. Kind of nice, 1,000, and then if you're short these tokens, right? That's kind of nice. This one is better, way better if you're straight hurting for TP. This is 4,000 for 1180. This is 5,000 for 480, right? So less tokens, more TP. So the TP pack is what you're after on the value there. And this is what, 200 million coin for a lot of currency, or 30 million coin. So what, that'd be the 7 times 35. So better coin value on that pack, but none of the coin values feel super great to me. 30 million's a drop in the bucket, right? This combo pack is okay for the emerald tokens, right? So if you're short on emerald, then I can see why you would go this route. But it's still kind of spendy. The straps, I just get those in events. I don't ever buy them on Prizewalls, really, for the most part. This is decent. I mean, I guess, ish. It's only 100 TP though, and what is that, 2 million coin. So it's 1,000 TP and 20 million coin for 400. So it's not terrible, right? It's like almost this and a little bit of TP. So it's okay. I don't hate it. This one's whatever, leftover, decent, right? So that's kind of that wall, right? It's just, it is what it is. Um, as far as this wall goes, you know, the half off. I mean, the Nikki shards, there's a lot of them, but they're expensive. Austin has been really expensive, so it is what it is, right? Cody shards are really cheap, but I feel like if you're the kind of person that's spending $100 on the starter pack, you probably already got this Cody because the shards have been everywhere. You know what I mean? These are really weird in this pack. They make no sense to me. But these get you closer. I'd rate them all kind of similar, right? It's just whichever one you want to chase the most for your account, to be honest. So, is that it for walls other than Armory? Now, the Armory this month, I like the options, the higher options better-ish, I think, this month, but the lower options way less. Uh, there are no low options this month. Last month, there was a 50 and a 20k silver. And now we have massive inflation. Where'd they go? There's no 50 or 20k special item in here. So my free-to-play is really sad to see that because I got just over 70,000. So I got the 6-star silver. Who was it? That was 6-star silver. I don't even remember. Lady. And then the 6-star silver Shinsuke, right? For 50k. I can't even remember who the lady was because of goldfish memory. So that's kind of a bummer. Death row pricing, pretty great. You can use it on NWO Macho. It's actually slightly better than the JD drip with the Yeet plate, right? So it works really well on Macho. And like I said, slightly better drip plate. You can also use it on Nikki. I'm sure there's some other people. Frankie the Paraplate's amazing. 300k is a lot, but it's amazing. If you can get there, it's absolutely worth having one, like 100%. I think this pricing's terrible. I'd pass on both of them personally. It's so much. I mean, they're both great. Cody's been really available, so I'm going to say Taker's the better play, even though Cody plays faster, but Powerhouse is more loaded. I don't like the value here, though, for how much, like, yeah, I don't know. It kind of just feels kind of high. These are all way too high. Like, I get that they're high value shards, but it's just so expensive. McCool gear is amazing. MP gear is always clutch, right? So I like the price point there. The Haku gear feels really high, but it's new. 350,000 is very hard to get. McCool gear is closer to being in range. I would take the parrot plate over any of it though. So I would rate that as the best thing on there. If you don't have one, I would take that over anything. Right? Death row price is solid. And then I think the McCool gear is pretty solid too. So overall, I don't mind the Armory, but I feel like the lack of the 20 and 50k options for lower players is kind of a miss this month, completely. And I don't like the strap pricing. Right? These are all way too expensive. Save your Armory coins for other stuff. So, okay. Now that leaves. Let's look at the loot. The Armory loot this month. They did. I looked at it a little bit in the news. They did convert new stuff into it. You have all the transfusions, all of the flurries, Botchman universals. You'll get all of those, right? As well as the rainbows, reinforcements. Ring of Royalty, Haku plate, Punk's gauntlets, Frankie the Parrot plate in there. Gruesome guys, really mainly. Some people like it on Tiffany, some people like it on Tama. I like it on Kamala, right? There's a rainbow transfusion, timeless style, green Piper plate, ridiculous. This is not ridiculous, but it's nice and it works on like everybody that uses multiply gems. And then we got a visceral vistage hanging out. So I think it's a great titles loot, right? With some really nice plates. So, I mean, one guaranteed feature. It just feels bad when you hit the straps and not the plates. But it's still really strong. Loot, 15 for 30,000, 2k a pull. I mean, my free-to-play probably will end up... Last month got 70,000. It should be a little bit better this month, hopefully. It gets a little bit better each month. And I actually have Gunther, which is nice. Whereas I tend to not. I didn't have black, and the one before was even worse. So I'm hoping I can get like 70, 80k. 90 would be better, right? Get a couple 3 pulls out of there, but I don't think I'll get there. But a couple pulls, chance for a plate's kind of cool on that. The gear loots are just fun in general, right? Like, to me, so many like MP changing gears that really free up your MP trainers. Really nice in Voldemort tours. That's for the uninitiated. That's the steel cage tours when you can't use any trainers. So these two are really good, right? Gear, in particular this one, he's really good with that. Yeet gear, he hits so hard. It's not MP gear, but he hits so hard. Jacob gear just takes him to another level hitting. Mommy gear, MP, crazy. None of those are new, I don't think. There's the gold DDP gear if you're chasing DDP. MP gear for Brett. Gold gear for Goldberg, which is nice. Damage. He's got 2 gears. Both of the DDPs are in the featured, which is a bummer. I really want this gear on Mherex. Can't get it. The new Repo Man gear is in here. -4 MP. I actually see that being very useful for a lot of players. Smash is not bad. Smash with gear is extra not bad. And I think he can help a lot of accounts potentially. You know, but as far as Legendary Powerhouse go, Hogan and Coco are definitely better. But he's definitely usable, and the gear makes him more interesting. Penta hits super hard with his gear. Vinny Vegas, if you have all Kev's gear, he gets a ton of MP, can do stuff with the E-Drip. JBL's ridiculous. At his gear, he's more ridiculous. Hall of Fame Ron, you need 1 gear to make him work. This is WCW Steve. You got Kaiser's MP gear, Piper's MP gear, Becky's multiply. I mean, like, the gear is really fun loot, right? There's Hall of Fame Ron's other one, JBL's other one, Lex gear, Julia gear, which is Chef's Kiss, it's just beautiful. Haku gear, and then McCool gear. So the featured in the gear is just beautiful, right? I mean, and it's again 15 pulls, 30,000. So yeah, a lot of that's game-changing gear. Changes how they can play, changes how they hit. Common is not nearly as exciting. Austin 316 gear jumps out. WCW Ray actually with his gears and the drip yeet can hit. Lexus silver gear, Waller's other gear, more Austin 316 gear, R-Truth gear. Those are the kind of Molly gear, right? Actually, Foley gear in there too, and Macho gear, not bad. Those are all usable to good characters. Um, Probably Tory gear isn't horrible. So yeah, I think the gear loot's really good this month again, especially with that new stuff, the new stuff rotating in and all that. And the moment gear, just five k a pull. The moment gear feels super. The moment armory feels super expensive. They did rotate new characters in, I believe. I'm pretty sure all of these 5 are new in here. I'm pretty sure this was the headline, right? But now we got these. So, but keep in mind you don't necessarily get a card or a moment. Sometimes you get the card and not the moment. Sometimes you get the moment, not the card. Pretty much whatever you're chasing, you're not going to get. The card pool is pretty good for the most part. Some weak stuff in there for sure, but some great stuff as well. I like that they moved the new ones in. The new Hell in the Cell moment. It's also available in the Milestones. Um, the wedding gear Imperium moment for Gunther and Feud adds, is it +3 multiply or +4? It's quite nice. Dudley Boy moment's really nice in Feud. Tori gives MP on the moment, which is kind of interesting. She's not great, but she might be your best attitude era, so she can do some stuff. Beer bath moment is incredible, like just absolutely incredible. There's the Out of the Bloodline one. The Wyatt 6 is really good. Tiffy time moment's solid. There's actually, it's the New Bloodline is the good one. My bad. New Bloodline. Old one is okay. This is for Solo. This is for Jacob. That's the difference. This is okay if you're gonna use any of them. It's whatever. Yeah, good, good, solid, amazing. Right. This is maybe the best moment in the game. So much HP. Good, good, good. Like a lot of really good new one. This is good. This is good. This is great. This is, if you don't have this, it makes Miz hit so hard. So it's the moment distribution, if you don't have them, is quite nice. There's very few bad moments in here. The problem is if you get the ones you're missing, right? Or if you get the cards. So, and it's so expensive at 5k a pull. So it's hard for me to support the moment pull. I feel like moment, you know, is more, I tend to more go for those on Prizewalls than in the Armory because the pulls are so expensive. I'd rather just have quantity, and these are more interesting, the gear and the potential plates, right? For me, I think if I'm gonna gamble Armory, I probably like doing the gear, probably, right? Um, but that's just more of a personal preference as opposed to anything else. It also depends how many gears you're missing and if anything is particularly exciting to you, I think. All in all, though, the armory continues to be really solid. I do wish we could choose still, right? Like I really like the choosing, and they did bring back, where you can choose for the higher ticket items. So I don't want to really complain too much, but I don't like relying on RNG, random number generator. I like to pick my stuff. I like to save, spend, plan, and that's where I wish there was just a few more price range options in here, like some more options and some more price points, right? For the people that don't, which is a huge portion of your player base, Scopely, just so you know, uh, it would be nice to have some stuff lower than this that's good or accessible, like maybe not like the most amazing stuff, but like last month, the the 50k Showboat Nakamura, I was happy to save all month and get that. The 20k, I don't remember the, oh, it was EO Sky. I already had EO, but just getting a 6-star silver lady on this account is useful for boss battle. I was happy to save for it. I didn't even think about gambling because I need that to make progression on my account to help my faction more, right? So just a different, if anyone from Scopely happens to watch this, just kind of a different way of thinking about it is you want to, in my opinion, put stuff for all levels of players, because some of us don't like chasing the dopamine impulse. It just feels bad when you miss stuff. And if you save all month to get something you feel like you really worked or earned, it feels good, right? Even if it's not like the most amazing thing, it felt good to save all month and end up getting Nakamura and then um EO and make progress on my account. That kind of stuff feels good to me. So I'm not complaining because you have done a better job, and the armory you rotate stuff in. So don't think this is me complaining. This is more just me providing like constructive feedback that I don't think it would hurt you guys' bottom line. to add in some more lower tier stuff, or even if, and I know it takes up valuable room in your store, but maybe you could nest the straps under a straps thing, and we could get a few more items in here too, just to pick from that don't necessarily affect your bottom line. Just a thought. I would appreciate that. I know a lot of other players would, because a lot of us like to plan, save, and it's really quite fun. Um, yeah, so there's that. All in all, I think the Armory, it continues though to be a win. I think the half off wall is pretty disappointing, and I think the MLC wall is pretty disappointing. The time limited wall is awesome, right? I mean, like, you're going for this, or if you're missing these, yeah, they're expensive, but it's a huge chunk of Howdy shards. Gunther shards are dirt cheap, so usually it's pretty awesome. In general, there's something good on here, right? Ministry moment, like, it's kind of whale fodder, but typically there's stuff you like in there. Even if you're a whale, you want more than one of these plates, right? You want more than one of these plates. You want all of these moments. You probably already have all these recruited if you're a whale, though. But you want to get these moments. You probably have most of the moments too. So maybe for big dolphin, small whale, it's a good wall. But for low spenders, I mean, low spender the Gunther. I mean, that's obtainable if your faction does okay. So all in all, it's okay. The MLC wall feels like a disappointment. I do like the premium chest. I think they do a good job with this. There's a lot of really useful stuff in here. I mean, some really good stuff. Not that much like terrible stuff like Bushwhacker. Miz is pretty terrible. Montez, I would assume, I haven't played him forever, but these three are probably not so great. I mean, usable to good in here. Alpha's probably pretty not good anymore. Same, with this stuff. Probably usable, but better stuff, you know? So it's kind of a mixed bag, but I think it's also, for the most part, a pretty good mixed bag, considering you're getting gold and it can help, like, newer accounts, right? So, and there's a chance to get some really cool stuff. So all in all, I think it's solid month for that kind of stuff. The characters are really hard for me to rate. Like, Woods needs a lot of stuff, and then he's kind of like very similar to Jacob. But Jacob has this really good defensive builds, and then you got Smash is really cool with, if you figure the gear, and he's got some stuff you can do, but again, you need a lot of stuff. And then it's just so hard because Hogan is so good and Coco is so good. It's really hard to, you know what I mean? But I think for an A tier, he's pretty solid. I don't know that he's quite, if you get the gear, he may end up being just as interesting as like a boss man on an account, right? So I don't think he's bad, so I think he's decent. And Alba's just, eef. Yeah. The best thing you can say about Alba is she's got a good coach and she's defensive shards that you can use for your projects. So we'll have to see what else comes this month, though. You never know. If you're looking for the moment, it is in the Armory contest. I guess we should maybe go over this and this too. Um, this milestone, right? So it's 3 million. If you're wondering how much that takes, I'll tell you exactly. It's 3 million divided by 12. That's how much you have to spend and get. 6 to get them, 6 for spending them. 3030999 divided by 12. 252,000 currency to get the moment token if you're after that. And the 5 million is just a lot. It's like 350 million or something. It's a lot, but that's got a black Royal Rumble in it, which is a really nice Royal Rumble to have, not gonna lie. And then so 252,000 gets you really close to the McCool gear, for example, and then you get the moment as well. So let's double check. Yeah. So if you save and get the McCool gear, you got to chip in like $20 at the end or something to get the McCool gear and the moment. Might be worth it if that's what you're after, right? You get the Haku gear. If you're after that, that probably puts you close to maxing. Let me divide 5 million by 12 and see. There you're probably spending, 416,000 actually. So you're probably buying a couple $100 worth of Armory currency to hit that, so that's not great. Frankie the Parrot, though, 300,000. That's a great plate divided by 12. You're looking at 200. No, that's not right. Is it 200? That should be more than that. 300,000, 3 million divided by 12. Why am I doing? I'm stupid. 300,000 times 12. Gosh, I'm dumb. I'm doing it all backwards. 3.6 million points is where that would get you, right? You're probably buying at least a mega's worth of and do it the last day. They have the best deals, right? It's this last month, it was the end of the month loot with the 130,000 or 125,000 for $100. So, you know, if you end up being 175k, then $100 gives you the Frankie the Parrot, and you'll get some pulls. So wait till the very last day on Monday to pull that trigger if you're doing that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the monthly breakdown and going over it. It looks okay. I'm very curious though what you guys would be really interested to get, what you think you can get. If you're going to do Armory pulls instead, what you're going for. This account this month on the free-to-play, to be honest, there's nothing I believe I will hit. I don't think there's any chance I get to 111,000 on the free-to-play or 150,000. So for me, I'm probably just going to do gear pulls on the free-to-play, most likely, because there's some gear. Any MP gear would help a lot, and any damage gear would help a lot. Goldberg gear's in there. I use him all the time. Waller gear's in there. Truth, I already got his other gear on this last prize wall. Molly Holly gear, right? There's just a lot of stuff even in the commons that the free-to-play can use. I mean, maybe even Hogan gear, right? I don't know. So yeah, I think I'll do a couple gear pulls and hopefully get a bunch of the commons I don't have. This gear, I have to use her for my Ruthless Aggression, I believe. And you know, maybe I'll get the Bex gear, for example, or Piper gear would be so good on this account, guys, for me. So good. So yeah, I think I'll probably go the gear route on the free-to-play. Mherex, I usually get somewhere between 200 and 250,000 currency with the spending I do and hitting bonus milestones. If I'm full disclosure and having the champ, all three of the subscriptions, which you can easily debate the intelligence on that. I would say it's not smart to have the DX subs at all. Not smart at all, in fact. Because they're not good value, but they do give you a decent amount of extra armory currency. So he ends up between 200 and 250,000 usually since they reworked it. Before he was getting much higher, and I get very close to the moment like every single time. So that's something I'm willing to spend a little bit for, probably for the moment, just for yeet. So factoring in, I get to, let's say, 250k as a ballpark. I already have the McCool gear, I would say, for that. Can't get the Haku gear without a major spend on top of it, and don't want any of the other stuff. I have one Death's Row. I don't feel like I need another. I have 2 Frankie plates. I would love a third, but I think in this case, Mherex will gamble as well. So maybe that's an indicator of what's on this prize wall. If my free-to-play will gamble, has nothing that he can get to, and Mherex will gamble, because these are all way too expensive on a big account like that. So I think Mherex will probably gamble on the gear too, simply because I want the Bliss gear and I want the Haku gear in the Armory. So I think that's what I would gamble on with both accounts, interestingly enough. So I have a lot of it. I have Mommy gear. I don't have Brett gear, which I would like. I don't have the gold DDP gear, which I would like. And I don't have the Bliss or the Repo Man gear. And I don't have the gold, either of these two, or the Kaiser. No Tonga and Terra gear. So yeah, I feel like gear for Mherex makes the most sense. Either that, or I would consider the moments. It's just so expensive, right? So I don't like it. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. This video is super long. Hopefully it was helpful. Very curious what you guys decide to do. You want to come back and comment throughout the month what you get when you buy it. If you get anything exciting from your Armory pulls or on other videos, you can comment it too. I don't care. I like hearing what you guys are getting. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I also like hearing you guys' thought process, how you think, what benefits your account. It helps me to really know what values, like I try to look at these walls and decide if they're good value or not, or worse. Like to me, this month, the MLC prize wall feels worse. The Armory feels worse in some ways, better in other ways. So it just helps me kind of get a vibe check for what's going on in the game, other than just thinking about myself. And it's really useful. The free-to-play account's useful for that too. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm on vacation this week, so I recorded this in the past, and you're watching this in the future, probably on Thursday. And I recorded it on Wednesday. So I hope you have a great Thursday. And you know, just I don't know, no words of wisdom or anything today. So actually, I watched Friday Night Lights the other day, the movie, not the TV show. Both are good. Love love both of them, the show and the movie. But just be perfect. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck out there.